I'm going to be objective as possible this game because I'm going to be open to criticism and try to improve. Because if some random person out jungles me, that's a problem. I don't want to get out jungled by randos. You know, I always want to keep improving and get better. So before the game even begins, I see two things. One, we outscale in the late game and we win team fights. So we want to play the game very slowly. And two, Talon versus Camille lane is very volatile. So I want to start bot side and path up. And that's going to play a key factor in how this game goes. So I'm going to speed it up. And based off of the time that bot lane shows up in their lane, I know that Warwick started blue buff as well. Okay, so I start red. Nice. And I'm going to 3-path up. I'm going to do red, wolves, blue, and go up to counter gank Warwick. And he's going to do a full clear of his entire jungle. So as I clear my jungle and sit in this bush, I realize that instead of doing 3 camps like me, because he's starting blue side, he can take a greedy path and just clear all of his camps before showing up for the top gank. So what I do is I take Scuttle Crab for the vision because it denies stealth when he pops over the plant and ganks through the Herald pit. And then I can sit here and wait for Warwick in case he skips Raptors, does red, and shows up with that timing. But instead that he took Raptors, so he took a much longer time to get there. And boom. Right here, we saw him hop over Vision, but Talon is still pushing up. He's not responding. I'm too far away at this point to assist. If I come up, Camille's just gonna stun him. Warwick's gonna flash fear. So Talon's dead at this point. I also have to keep continuing my jungle route down because Warwick was allowed to take a greedy clear path. He's very far ahead of me right now. So I have to continue jungling down, take my raptors, possibly golems. And at this point Warwick's just very ahead of me now. Warwick's pretty fed. He got to do a greedy clear and get off a gank. What happens mid is really unfortunate. I don't blame LL at all for this. Bot lane definitely should have responded or pinged that Leona was missing. I don't think they did. Right here I clear my raptors, and because Warwick ends up helping Malzahar push this in, I'm going to come across the wall, soak up XP, and then recall. And the reason why I recall instead of pathing down to my Krugs and possibly counter-ganking bot is because I want to prioritize vision. And the reason why I want to prioritize vision is because we outscale them in the late game. And my job as a jungler right now is to keep Warwick from affecting these lane matchups and snowballing the game. So yeah, I back and buy Tracker's Knife, but this gank's happening, which should not be, because as I was sitting here soaking XP, we saw Warwick help push in mid and roam down bot, so these guys should definitely not be here. I mean, that could be my fault. I did back for vision, but I think it was very obvious, and I should not have had to respond down here. So at this point, Warwick got to do a very greedy full clear into a kill top, into a kill bot, while I didn't get a kill and I had to do a very inefficient clear path. I do get to pick up a kill here, so I catch up a little bit, but Warwick got a much more efficient buy. As you can see, he's probably going to have Tiamat or something. Yeah, he has Tiamat. And he's building aggressively, Red Smite, over me. I don't even have an HP buff, I don't have a damage buff, I just have Tracker's Knife. So I'm very weak compared to him right now, and I have to avoid him in the jungle at all costs. If I run into a 1v1, I cannot fight him. So at this point, both Warwick and I are full clearing from bot. Our jungle camp starts have reset, so we're just going to farm up as much as possible here, and we're both pathing up. And I expect Warwick to hit 6 a lot sooner than me because of just how the early game went in his favor. So I'm thinking that he's gonna do something like Raptors, possibly Krugs, and then wrap around into the lane and gank from these bushes. Like, he should be jumping from these bushes to ult Talon. That's a free kill. So I'm gonna walk up and try to match that after I do the clear myself. So right now I'm trying to be greedy as well because we have a ward here. You can see if he comes to river, and I saw that Talon's pushed in. So Warwick probably does not have a good opportunity to go for the dive right now. Instead, I actually see him path into my jungle. I'm not so sure that's right. He definitely should have gone for the gank top. But at this point, we need to collapse on him as a team because I know that Malzahar backed. Azir has a free lane, so as soon as I ping or see him, he should be rotating with vision immediately. And I'm not worried about top even though Talon's pushed in because he can hop walls. He can rotate just as quickly as Camille, if not faster, because he can hop over 2 walls here, maybe even 3. And I try to buy my team a little bit of time. I'm gonna slow this down because he's in vision for a very long time, and I'm trying to buy time for my team. Talon starts rotating. He gets the idea. This guy is a free kill, but I kind of have to flash over because he's holding ulti, and I'm just gonna die to him if nobody rotates because I don't see Azir rotating at all. And here I get a little toxic. I spam ping some question marks. That's my bad. But right there is a very crucial point in the game, I believe, because when it's my job to stop Warwick from affecting these matchups in the lanes so we can snowball and scale, it's very important that I have some form of pressure over him and that I abuse the pressure when his laners are not there to back him up. Because if I don't get any pressure when I'm weaker 1v1, then he can just run rampant in my jungle without any punishment, which he ends up doing. So I'm gonna speed this up. Oh shit, that's too fast, Alright. Yeah, and the reason why I leave my blue buff topside jungle and go bot is because I took a chunk. I know I'm weaker than Warwick, Malzahar's back in mid lane, and they can just do whatever they want up here. Talon should have definitely realized. Like, this was a very poor decision for him to stay up here. It was really obvious that they were going to dive him too. So, the correct response when you're in this position, I believe, is to go and rotate to gank bot. Gonna speed this up too. What happens down here is really unfortunate. We don't get a gank off. Well, we kill Leona, but it kind of I still believe that this was the correct decision though. And here in the game is another crucial moment. We are getting collapsed on, and it looks like all of us are gonna die, right? Because Malzahar's coming down, Warwick's coming down, Ezreal's high health, and we're all like really low or no mana. So as this fight plays out, Ezreal gets zoned out because Varus is pressuring him, and I like Varus's idea. Varus is doing a really making a really good decision by pressuring and trying to trade a kill because he knows that we're too low to get out. Like, we're gonna die here. Or possibly only 2 or 1 of us, but it's best to try to pressure one of them into running away instead of chasing us down. And Warwick decides to bottle us in, right? So what happens when you get bottled in? You have to turn on one person immediately to pressure them away. And what happens here is Varus gets the idea. I get the idea, but a little stylish, and I'm not so sure I understand. And at this point, Warwick is, I believe, yeah, he's 6-1, and he pulled off ganks consistently over vision. I'm going to say I feel like the team probably did not respect vision this game, did not look at the minimap. I think I played properly according to the way I explained how I pathed. Right? I think it was very logical for me to play the way I did. I definitely could have done some things different, but in the end, if Warwick's going to get fed through people not respecting vision, I can't really do anything about that. And that's what leads to LL accusing me of getting outjungled, I believe. So I'm open to criticism, but I'm not so sure that this I can learn anything. I'm not so sure I can learn much from this when, from my analysis, I believe I made the right decision. That's unfortunate. But I hope he sees this, I hope he learns something, and I hope that anyone else who sees this learns how to play around this.